If you are new to Westchester area or are looking to move here, you owe it to yourself to watch this show till the very end, as we have Mr. Daryl Durnell, board member of Westchester Area School District, with us today to give us information you can use. Thank you, Mr. Durnell, for coming to the show.
Thank you so much for the invitation, Pip, and I appreciate the opportunity.
I have been a resident of Westchester Area School District for about 15 years and have been amazed at all the programs and diversity of courses and student population in this area. One of the reasons I bought a house in Westchester was I just fell in love with the community. And the other reason, other criteria that I was using when I was house hunting was I needed a good community. However, I wanted affordable taxes.
Hmm.
And Westchester area checked on both those boxes. Westchester area school district has the lowest school taxes in Chester County. And the schools here are highly rated, not only in Chester County, but in Pennsylvania and the nation. So why don't you tell us about who you are, and then we will go deep diving into different features of Chester County School District, Westchester Area School District.
Sure. I'm Daryl Durnell. I'm in my first term as school board for the Westchester Area School District. I grew up in Westchester. For those long-term residents, I went to High Street Elementary School, which no longer exists, graduated from Henderson in 78, became a teacher. I've been teaching for just over 30 years, special ed teacher. I still enjoy the kids very much. And I decided to look into local politics when I realized I didn't know a whole lot about local politics, and decided when the election came up for school board, I thought this is an opportunity for me to contribute to our community by being part of the school board. Got elected, and I'm in my third year of my first term, and re-election is coming up in about 9 months.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. So you've been around this area, in this area for a very, very long time.
Yes, I've taught in Texas and Pennsylvania. I've taught overseas for a few years, private schools, public schools. I currently teach at a charter school in the area. And as I mentioned, I still enjoy working with the kids very much.
Absolutely. So you have seen not only this community is served by Chester County, Westchester Area School District. However, you've seen schools and the course offerings and everything evolve. So why don't you tell us something about the school district, the size of it, how many schools, the student population, and all that good stuff?
Yes, Westchester Area School District has a very large footprint. We encompass a number of principalities: the borough of Westchester, West Goshen, East Goshen, West Whiteland, West Town, Thornberry, probably leaving out some. It's just a very large footprint. We have approximately 12,000 students that we serve. 17 schools. We opened our newest elementary school 2 years ago, Greystone Elementary. So it's a very large footprint, very diverse community that we serve, and we do well. I think we have a lot to be proud of with Westchester.
Yeah, over 12,000 students.
That's correct.
Big,
Yeah.
big footprint that you have.
Yes.
And they are also very highly rated by different school districts, by different groups. So why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, our school district is I believe, the second largest in Chester County, and we do a great job of being responsible with the taxpayers' money. but all while at the same time not compromising the standards. Our motto is to educate and inspire students to to achieve their personal best. And the whole idea of educating, that talks to the high academic standards. The idea of inspiring, to me, speaks to, character and physical and emotional health. All those things work together. And I think that's indicated by high SAT scores, high ratings, and national publications and rankings.
Absolutely. The programs that the schools offer, there's something for everybody.
Mm-hmm. I think two programs I'd like to mention, that the full day kindergarten, which started a few years ago, has proved to be very beneficial, preparing our students using a play-based model for education. Kindergarten kids, they love to play. And so by combining that with learning really sets them up for improved academic success. The other program that's really significant is we're having more and more students participating in our dual enrollment programs,
Wow.
where students are able to be high school students and get college level courses, really preparing them for future academic endeavors.
Yeah, you are helping students from kindergarten onwards prosper and thrive. However, this particular dual enrollment opportunity is just a mind change. It's a game changer.
Absolutely. I think there are a lot of, when I was in school, when I was in high school, I remember my guidance counselor suggesting, I go to college, but I want students to get even more specific challenges, like, have you ever considered being a CEO? Have you ever considered owning your own company? Have you ever considered, getting a master's degree or doctor's degree? Have you ever considered hiring people and training people? There's so many, I see students that argue with staff, and I challenge them, have you ever considered law? Because that's what lawyers do. They successfully argue.
Right.
And there's just so many opportunities, and I want kids to really be inspired to look at the many opportunities out there.
And by educating our students with the financials, which is very critical. I mean, we teach them about sports and debates and just so many different things. But if they graduate from high school and they don't have financial education, it's just very difficult. So I'm glad you are offering those kind of programs.
Yes, yeah, we see the value in teaching kids financial literacy. By the time they graduate high school, they should have a really good understanding of how to balance a checkbook, what financial responsibilities are going to occur month after month after month when they become adults. They should understand different savings opportunities and investment opportunities. We want them to be fully prepared. They're whole students, so we want them to be fully, prepared.
Absolutely. There is I have read news about different elementary schools getting their kids involved in donation, charity movements, which is so important, because when you teach students to be caring and compassionate, it makes them a better individual as they grow up.
Absolutely, and teaching young people the importance of giving back. It doesn't take away from the academics at all. If anything, it just strengthens their foundation to become global citizens and being good neighbors to the people in their community.
Right. You are also offering bilingual education somewhere in some of the schools.
Yes, yeah, there are opportunities for students to learn French, Spanish, um, German, Italian, but also we're seeing opportunities for students who are uh, what's the phrase, English language learners, to get credit if they speak another language in their home. So giving them the opportunity to get credit for that, that's something that they can add to their resume to make their college applications even more attractive. So we see the value in students who who come from diverse cultures, some who bring with them a second or even a third language, having an opportunity to give them a chance to get credit for those things.
Right. You also have a program called Senior and Veteran Gold Cards for community members. Why don't you tell us about that?
Right, that's an opportunity for the senior members of our community to participate in any of the school activities. Many of the activities, if not all, are free of charge for seniors. Just again, an opportunity for bringing our community together and showing value for the senior members of our community and giving them an opportunity to see and participate with members of the academic community throughout the Westchester Area School District.
And you also have a very active association where parents and teachers come together to improve, all aspects of student life.
That's correct. We have PTO organizations in each of the schools. I think a lot of times people feel that there's just one aspect to consider, just the teachers, just the students, but no, it's all of it, because the students and the teachers and the parents and the community, it should be all part of the same team, because we all want the students to be successful. We all want them to be prepared. We all want them to achieve and be inspired. And so sometimes there's a temptation to pit one group against the other, but it should be about us all working together for the success and preparation of our students.
Right. And you also have a great athletic program. Sports are very important for growth of the kids.
Absolutely. Again, we're trying to prepare the whole student, and athletics, during the pandemic, we wanted, as soon as we were able to, as soon as we felt it was wise and safe, we wanted students to have the opportunity to participate in sports, even if it was initially participating in practices and workouts, because that's part of their mental health. If your physical health is, very closely related to your mental health. One of the things I enjoy with the school board meetings is watching our senior representatives to the school board kind of poke fun at each other, but because they compete with each other.
Right.
And it's a friendly competition, and they're successful, and our athletic programs are really strong. Right. Coach Sinclair from Ruston High School just recently recognized by the Eagles as Coach of the Year. Just one indication. Yeah. One indication of our strong athletic programs.
Right. And we earlier briefly touched on the charitable connections that you are helping students and the community form. Why don't you tell a little bit more about that? I know that you have been involved with many local organizations like United Way of Chester County, Home of Sparrows, Unite for Her, and many more.
Great. I'm glad you mentioned Home of the Sparrow. East High School every year has a fundraiser, and they bring together talented students who share a number of different types of skills, instrumental, vocal, just many different types of skills. And they come together for an evening to celebrate each other, to celebrate their talents. But it's a fundraiser for Home of the Sparrow, which supports single mothers who are challenged with home stability, financial needs. That's just one of them. You mentioned the United Way program. Every year, the district participates in that, and I believe this year $16,000 was raised towards that program. So there's, again, teaching students that giving back and being part of the community, part of that is giving back.
Absolutely. There are some amazing organizations in Chester County, which we are very proud to have them supporting issues that are so common. So that thinking that Chester County is a prosperous county, why there are people with housing situation challenges, food challenges. However, they exist in many communities, and we have Chester County Food Bank and many other organizations that are helping solve those problems. And I have seen our students getting involved in giving a help to those who need, and that is one of the noblest uh, thing I would say.
Absolutely. There were a number of our from elementary school to middle schools to high schools, who particularly got involved during the Martin Luther King Day of Service. That's a day that's observed nationally now. And during that time, so many of our students don't simply sit on the couch and watch TV, but many are giving and they're volunteering. That day that they could sleep in or do other things, they're collecting money and delivering it to the food bank, or they're visiting senior centers. They're doing so much to contribute. It's just a great chance for our students to again give back.
And visiting senior centers when our seniors have given their golden years to the community, and now some may be feeling lonely, and at that time going and spending time with them is such a valuable lesson for the kids, and
Absolutely.
it's a win-win situation.
That's right. Right. Mentors are just such a need, and for students to have somebody that they can look up to and respect and ask questions to and express concerns to, somebody who maybe is a little, not so close to the vest, somebody who's objective but caring and can draw from their experiences.
Absolutely. Uh, Let us go back to the school district. I just want to share this with our audience. So, if they are interested in learning about what school their kids might be going to, or or some parents like to know they want to go up to a particular school, they want to send their kids to a particular school, they can again use this map on Westchester area school district's website to look at what schools would their home be
Mm.
in. And we mentioned about so many resources that are available to our parents and family. And I have the link here on our on the screen here, that again parents and students can visit uh, to find more about any information they need. One more thing I wanted to share was there is a program by National Parks Association to offer a free annual pass to all the national parks for all fourth graders. And the link is on the screen, and I would encourage all parents to check this out and see if they have a fourth grader, take advantage of this full 1 year pass.
Yeah, that's a great resource. Anything that we can do to make sure every student has an opportunity to experience the resources out there is a good thing. We have a very big equity mission in Westchester. We're trying to make our decisions through a lens of equity. So anything we can do to help any student remove any barrier, whether it's attending going to a national park, participating in academic opportunities, it's just really important that every student gets the opportunity to be successful.
Now, you also have a great counseling program for students as they are dealing with day-to-day issues or when preparing to go to college.
Right. Our counselors provide such a variety of services, from dealing with academic or social stressors that these students experience, preparing for their academic future, whether it's a vocational school or college or university, or whether it's entering directly into the workforce. In addition to our school counselors, we have a number of mental health therapists that provide services. They're located in each of the high schools, but they service all of the schools, wherever the need is. Certainly because of the pandemic, many struggle,
Oh,
and many are still trying to recoup
yeah,
from,
yeah.
the global pandemic. And it's good to know that our district sees the value in having those mental health professionals available for our school communities.
There used to be a time when talking about mental health was deemed as a weakness, a
Mm,
taboo. However, even adults face that, issues, and it would be naive to think that our young students are not affected by those issues. So it is very important that the school district has taken that initiative to educating and taking care of our students who may be facing any mental health issues. And I understand there was also a program that, yes, you had increased to a 12 full-time mental health specialists. That
yes,
so you just
yes,
refer to those.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And in addition to that, we see the value in social emotional learning for our students, and that's incorporated throughout the day. Again, I think there are some who feel like, well, wait, what, that's interfering or taking away from reading and writing and arithmetic. But no, we see, if you meet the basic needs first of the students, that prepares them to strive towards their academic success. If you have a student that's hungry or depressed, they're not really ready to learn. But if you're able to address that, that prepares them for academic engagement and success.
Right. And I remember during pandemic when schools were closed, a lot of families and kids were having challenges.
Hmm.
And I know that many students, many schools had offered this programs in conjunction with local uh, community organizations such as food banks and food pantry, and to to provide meals for these kids. And
Hmm.
that goes a long way in helping kids engaged and entertained and informed and educated.
Yeah. Again, because those, if the basic needs aren't met, then the student is really not set up to focus and be successfully engaged in their academics. Some students did okay during the pandemic, some thrived, but you still have to be concerned for those that didn't thrive, for those that had challenges with their resilience. And so, if there are any barriers that we can help remove so that those students can be successful as well, that's what the district wants to do.
Absolutely. I am just so pleased to be living in this school district and have seen my son went to Henderson for just as we moved here. However, I have interacted with many educators and in the community, and everyone is so pleased to be part of this outstanding school district.
Absolutely, it's a great district. Are we perfect? No. Are there things we could do better? Absolutely, but we're always going to strive. Anytime you have an organization made up of people, of humans, there's going to be challenges, and we're not all going to see eye to eye on everything. But when we work together, we describe the school board as a team of 10, the superintendent and the 9 board members, and we bring different experiences, different perspectives. Um, and we work together for the greater good.
And you have a very compassionate and caring administration and the board uh, trying to take the whole experience to the next level and keep working at it. And we, that is just so much beneficial to our students and their families as they educate and pursue higher education. And again, we mentioned that that the counselors and programs are aimed at helping students select their future path, whether it is in higher education or whether they are in some vocab some other vocational uh, so again, every student has different goals and different opportunities. Not everybody needs to pursue a bachelor education, bachelor's degree, or further education. Some people just like to, they are good at with their hands, and so I've seen many students in the community that are even while they are in middle school or high schools, they have started following their passions
Hmm.
and creating a small business of their own.
Right. Bipin, I'm glad you mentioned that because I also sit on the board for the Chester County IU, and the programs that are available to students through the IU, cosmetology, auto repair, HVAC,
Yeah.
um, animal care, nursing. There's so many programs. So there's so many different paths our students can take in order to be successful. You're right. It's not everybody's going to go to college, and that's okay. We want all our kids to be prepared to make the best choice out of a number of options. But there are so many opportunities and so many different paths to success that our students can take.
Now, in the community where I live, I have seen two young kids who are middle school or now going into high school, and they have started their own business. One guy is doing landscaping business. He has his own equipment and helps out. And there is another kid who got into furniture restoration, and
Isn't that
and
something?
he's making good money,
Mhm.
and he has found a passion that he's able to help and salvage those furniture that would have otherwise been headed to the dump.
Mm. Yeah, you can't put our kids in a box. They have different passions, different talents and abilities, and we want their success to look the way they want it to look, not necessarily the way we want it to look, but the way they want it to look. They're going to chart their own path and they're going to find their success. All we can do is try to remove barriers for those that have barriers and support all students to be successful.
I remember when I was growing up, my dad told me, just focus on your education, nothing else. Working or business, don't worry about it. Just focus on graduation, get your bachelor's degree, and then pursue professional, whatever profession you want to get into. And now times have changed. We now encourage, as you rightly said, to do whatever kids want to do. And what I have found is, I have two kids, and they're very well educated and settled in their lives. And now my two grandkids, they are also pursuing hobbies and growing up to be very caring kids. And who knows what they will end up with. But one thing is certain, with the education that they are getting, they have many, many more opportunities than I had when I was a kid.
And those opportunities are so important. Um, if if the young person loves what they're doing, chances are they're going to do it well. And so that anything we can do to help them find that passion or encourage that passion, that's what we want to do.
Absolutely. And uh, so, as we like to summarize what we talked about, and I know we talked a lot, and there is a lot we can continue talking. And I hope we will be back with more such shows like this, when we can inform and educate our community about different things that the school district continues to do through its various schools for different grade levels. And I would love to have this dialogue continue with individual schools. Hopefully, we'll get that opportunity in coming months. However, today, as we conclude this show briefly, can you describe? Can you just summarize what we went through in a minute or so?
Sure, I'll try my best. Westchester School District has a strong reputation. Our students do well. We have a number of resources available for students. We work collaboratively. We're concerned about the success of our students. We're concerned about our teachers being the best educators they can be, using cultural responsiveness, using social emotional learning, and the community. Parents get to speak up, and they do speak up, and we listen and we hear them. There are a lot of resources. We're a great school district. We just want to keep getting better and better for the sake of promoting success for our students. Again, we want them to achieve their personal best.
Absolutely. That is such a great message. And I want to also let our community know that we do this spotlight show every Saturday at 10 o'clock, bringing in local community organizations and also highlighting great work done by our schools and our local governments and local community organizations, small businesses. We started this at the onset of pandemic to promote and support our local small businesses, and then we expanded into organizations that do such amazing work where we live and work. So I want to thank you for watching, and please join us next Saturday at 10 o'clock. We will be when we continue this show. So thank you very much, Daryl. I appreciate you joining in, and wish you an amazing year as you continue serving the district and the community, and hopefully look forward to having you back again.
And thank you so much. You're certainly welcome. Thank you for the opportunity to share with your audience.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.